everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Engine Gremlin. The day is finally here. After months of planning, searching, and waiting, we're finally going to get on the road and go get the car. We're going to pull it out of the barn, resurrect it, and get it shipped off back here to beautiful Colorado. So, stick around. Everybody, welcome back. We are here in Carthage, Missouri. So the car is supposedly in this barn. It's been there for the last 30 years. So we're going to open up. We're going to go see what we find. So, all right, let's go. You know what? Why don't we just see if this opens up? That's easy. Ooh. Okay, there it is, way back there. That doesn't look too bad. Oh yeah. Okay. So obviously she's a bit dirty, but first impressions, I like what I see. Okay, yeah. So this is a 1968 Mustang Coupe. My understanding is it has a straight six. The owner is the second owner. Let's take a peek inside. Oh yeah. Oh, this is great. All right, so the interior's in pretty good shape. I mean, the upholstery's not too bad. I'm seeing some surface rust on a lot of the exposed areas, but nothing that screams trouble. All right, so let's take a look at the floorboards. I said floor pan, I should say, instead of floorboards. It's not a house, it's a car. So in a body like this is what's called a unibody car. So today's cars are typically a body on frame, which means that the body is separate from its chassis. Back in 1968, when these cars were made, it was the body and the frame were all one piece. So if you lost a part of the body or part of the body was damaged, you lost a lot of structural integrity on your car as a whole. So one of the first things to go was usually the floor pan. If the floor pans are in great shape, I think that spells good news for this car. So this is going to be the first thing that we're going to check. So extra light here. Oh, these floor mats are shot to hell. Oh yeah. So looking at these floor pans here, you know, what's peeling away here is sound deadening, and that's just so old it's just crumbling away. But looking at the actual metal, that sounds solid. This is a very good sign that we've got an intact floor pan that probably doesn't need to be replaced, because that would be a lot of extra time and work cutting out the old pan, welding it back in. So let's go ahead and check the rear floor pan. That's good. We'll replace this upholstery, so. Yeah, so this is a great place to check because this is one of the pieces that actually gets bolted into the car via the floor pan. So, looking at it a little closer. There we go. All right, so when you wipe away the sound deadening, that kind of looks like rust because it's been attached to the car, so it takes on a rust color. This is actually a bolt-in piece. It's not a weld-in piece, which means it's replaceable if the pan is in good shape. So it sounds pretty solid. I think, you know, here we go. Okay. So yeah, we've got some surface rust, but I don't see any holes. This is a good sign. I think the floor pan's in great shape and we won't need to replace it. A little bit of sandblasting and some sound deadening, maybe some lizard skin, and we'll be good to go. So let's go check out the engine. Door shuts, that's good. Woo! Something's been living here. Alright. So aside from the home away from home that something has, or some things has built into here, the engine looks good. Again, only surface rust that I'm seeing. So yeah, straight six. So back in 1968, these made about 115 horsepower. But they were an incredibly reliable engine. Looks like we have a manual transmission back there. So these came with either a 3-speed or a 4-speed. I'm not sure which we're working with right now. I'm not going to stick my hand down there just yet in case something's still down there. Oh, what's this? That is snakeskin. So I'd like to meet the animal that looked at this and thought, that's a good building material. Snakeskin. Yeah, so everything, so let's see. No power steering, so we've got manual steering back there, but there is hydraulic brakes. These cars typically came with this in the front, drums in the back. Don't see any reason why it might be any different, but everything in here looks good. I don't see any frame damage. What rust there is, it's all surface rust, and the engine bay itself is more or less rust free, so this is a great sign. Really cool feature in these cars, back in 1968, they actually had turn signals integrated into the hood scoops so that the driver could see which turn signal they were actually using while they were driving. That's a really cool feature, and I'd love to keep that in the car. So great sign so far. Bumper looks straight. You know, aside from that fender bender down there, the body looks perfectly straight. I don't think this thing's been in any accidents. You know, the gapping looks pretty good. So let's go check out the trunk now. Oop, forgot my light. That's important. Probably gonna need the key. Ooh, that works like the day it came off the line. That's good. All right, let's see what we got here. Ooh, clutch pedal. We'll want to hang on to that. There's a few odds and ends and parts laying around here, I've noticed. So let's see what we got here. All right, we got some carpeting, spare tire. Let's pull some of this back. So this is the gas tank. Some surface rust, but that looks good. Back then, the gas tank integrated as part of the body of the frame. We'll probably put a protective cover over the top just so it helps separate the passengers from the gas tank. You know, it's not anything like the Ford Pinto, but it's a good safety precaution, and it helps stiffen up the rear end of the car anyway. But looking a little closer, getting up close in the wheel wells. You know, again, I'm only seeing surface rust. Nothing rotted through, not really seeing any bubbles in the metal and the steel. This is all looking very promising and great so far. Looking down the side. Oh, this side looks pristine. Straight as an arrow. Straight as an arrow. Doesn't look like any accidents whatsoever. Headlights, those are in good condition. We can salvage these. Yeah, headlights look great. We can salvage these, have them re-chromed. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, so first impressions. I think that the car is in phenomenal shape for having sat here for 30 years. It's straight, you know, all the rust other than maybe like a little guy here on the rear where we're starting to bubble is surface rust. We're probably going to blast this car anyway, get all the old paint off. This is a Metal Arc Yellow original color, although right now it's kind of a rat poop brown. But no, this is fantastic. This is very exciting. So I think this is the car for us. So next step, we're going to clear out all the crap in front of it and roll it out in the sun, get her cleaned off, and then, you know, if things go well and we have enough time, maybe try and get her to turn over by the end of the day. So yeah, we'll get cracking. All right, so after about hour and a half, 2 hours, we finally got everything out of the way. Had a few slip ups along the way, pulling the grasshopper and the electric golf cart out of there. But yeah, we're pretty much ready to start pulling it out. So exciting. All right, so we managed to clear everything out of the barn. Managed to get a lot of stuff cleaned up. Tried to pull it out, several unsuccessful attempts. Turns out that all 4 drum brakes are seized. So we spent a little time hammering on one. Almost got it off. Got a little bit of work to go, but we're starting to lose daylight out here. We don't have any power out here, so we closed up. We're gonna come back tomorrow morning, start working on those drum brakes so that we can roll it out, and hopefully start working to get it to turn over by the end of the week. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey everybody, and thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Engine Gremlin. If you like what you saw and you like what we do, please consider liking and subscribing to our YouTube channel. It helps us make better quality content and on a more regular basis, and I would really like to hire an editor someday. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram. Links are down in the description. And please consider donating to our Patreon page. Like our YouTube channel, it helps us make better quality content on a regular basis. And ultimately, it's going to help us make a better quality car in the end. So, like I said, thank you guys so much again for watching this week's episode. I will see you guys next time.